Another kind of mentality or mantra or way to live my life is be impossible to ignore. You know, just be in everyone's face, just be impossible to ignore, be really good so that people can't ignore you. It's impossible. And then just be up on everybody's face. Just like, if you don't ask, you don't get. So just be there, you know?
It's Jordan Mulligan from the Mulliganbrothers, and today's interview highlight is with Stefi Cohen. We're talking about the early days of starting a business, some of the most difficult times, some of the most treacherous and dangerous times for your company are those early days. Anybody who started a business will understand that. Anybody who is in the midst of starting a business, you guys know the most. So this is Stefi Cohen talking about starting Hybrid Performance, one of an extremely successful company, one of the most successful companies in the space. And there's a lot of lessons here to be had from Stefi. Today's video was sponsored by audible.com, where you can get a free audiobook with the link in the description. Just go click that, follow that link, and you'll get a free Audible book. Also sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, as always. And please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. But before that, let's jump into this video about starting a business and Stefi Cohen starting Hybrid Performance Gym. Let's jump into it.
We started Hybrid during my first year of grad school. So I had been in school for a year. I thought that's what I wanted to do when I graduate. I really enjoyed reading literature and writing. So a big part of my role within Hybrid, especially at the beginning, was writing blog posts and articles and coming up with content in a creative way to post it and get more eyes into the company. So that's kind of like what I was focused on. I remember when Hayden first came to me with the idea of selling online workout programs that were centered around the training philosophies that we had at that time, which was combining Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. When he came up with that idea, I was like, man, like, I'll support whatever you want to do. I'll help you however I can, but I can't see this thing making a ton of money. Like, maybe we can make a few $1,000s a month, but I can't see this being like a long-term thing. But he did, right? And I trusted him. He's a smart guy and he was excited about it, so I supported him. And Hybrid's growth was so fast and so exponential that it didn't take me long to get behind, like really get behind and focus on it. It was a matter of like maybe 2 or 3 months where Hybrid already became extremely profitable. You know, and it wasn't because, oh, we're selling like this revolutionary training style. It was just right place, right time, right people, you know? Like, we were two faces that were perfect to promote this. We were doing the sport. We entered social media at a time where the algorithm was extremely friendly, you know, and generous. And yeah, it took off. So remember, so a year into grad school, started Hybrid, a few months go by, I'm already making more money than all of my professors combined, but I still have 2 more years of grad school. And I go into my first clinical rotation and I absolutely hate the job. I'm like, holy fuck, what do you do? You know, I still have 2 more years of school. I've already committed. I hate leaving things in the middle. You know, I have this gig that apparently can be a thing. What do I do? And so I chose the challenge. The challenge was to finish school, super competitive program, 6% acceptance rate. Like, the graduation rate is also super low. The classes are so difficult. There's a policy that anything less than a 75 on any test gets you kicked out. Like, it was really challenging and I loved it. Like, I remember like crying at night, midnight, being like, oh, this sucks, but it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good when I graduate. I'm gonna be so proud of myself of like just everything that I had to go through, juggling business, lifting professionally and competing like every few weeks, and traveling for exposure, meeting people, networking, and still, you know, being able to graduate. So that was my life around that time. It was pretty hectic. It was insane. Like, I was just trying to do it all and oftentimes failing miserably at everything.
What did a tough day look like in that time period?
So I would wake up at, I would set my alarm for 5 a.m. I would pop an Adderall, 20 milligrams of Adderall. I had a prescription, it wasn't illegal. Pop 20 milligrams of Adderall, which would naturally wake me up at 6 with a panic attack. But I'm like, worth it, I'm focused. So woke up at 6, chug a Red Bull, study for an hour, just review my classes. My classes usually started at 8. Study for an hour, shower, change, be late for class. I would come to school with my barbell in the back of my car because I was friends with, or I developed a good relationship with one of my professors from undergrad. It was a strength coach, and his gym for his coaching certification was in the same building as all my PT school classes. So I would get there around like 8 a.m., go to school, leave the first class like about a half an hour early with my barbell. Like I would bring it to the classroom, then bring the barbell upstairs to the gym, leave half an hour early, then be half an hour late for the next class. Stay there in school, leave, go to the library, study for a few hours, then go train. I'd be at the gym at like 8:30, and then I wouldn't leave until like 11 and do it all over again. Yeah, that was a tough day.
And for how long? Like
months, forever. Like that was kind of like most of my time in grad school. And then obviously I would travel we didn't have class on Friday, so every other week I'd travel just to network, just to get my name out there. Like we would go to like the biggest gyms in America. I remember going to Super Training, Mark Bell's, before anything, and we just went there, and I was like, Mark, I'm a big fan of yours. I just started lifting. I was wondering if you could give me a few pointers. Maybe you could teach me how to bench. That was one of the first times that I went to Mark, and now we're really good friends. But yeah, that's what I would do. I just tried to, and that's another kind of mentality or mantra or way to live my life, is be impossible to ignore. Just be in everyone's face. Just be impossible to ignore. Be really good so that people can't ignore you. It's impossible. And then just be up on everybody's face. Just like, if you don't ask, you don't get. So just be there, I think it's a big part is removing your ego, not caring if you get rejected, or if you don't get heard, or if you're not taken into account, or you're not taken seriously, not taking that personal, and just really the understanding of that if you don't ask, you don't get. So, and being okay with not getting at certain times.
How would you describe your mindset? Like if you was to explain the way that you feel your mindset is to somebody, how would you describe it?
I think that I'm just a master of the mundane. Like I don't let my emotions influence what I have to do on a day-to-day basis. Like I just try to stay stoic most of the time. Like I try not to get too excited about anything, not too upset about anything. Just I try to kind of cruise by and do what I need to do on a daily basis, even if it's just a little bit. And I think that understanding of what consistency actually is, that's kind of what makes my mindset what it is. A lot of people think that consistency is like showing up every day at 100%, but consistency is just showing up every day a little bit, Some days you show up 100%, some days you show up 5%, and that's totally cool, it's fine. So I'm just really good at doing boring shit for long periods of time, like way longer than anybody else could do that for. And I proved that with weightlifting and with powerlifting. It's two sports that are extremely boring, where you're like just coming to the gym every day, not making progress. You know what that is? For like 10 years. And the longer that you're in the sport, the less progress that you make. It's the definition of insanity. You're coming in, you're doing the same thing over and over again, and you're seeing no results. Sometimes you might not get a PR in like 3 years, and you're still there, trying to add more weight with like you're almighty and falling short of your goals, but you just keep doing it. Keep doing it, and then one day maybe you get a breakthrough. Just nothing should come in between you and your goal, and you should just always try to be chipping on something, trying to get better at something. And that's what discipline gives you. It's like it's the ability to ignore your emotions and do what needs to be done.
And there you go, that's Stefi's experience of starting a business. I think one of the best lessons I learned in business and going forward in business and in anything in life is gaining people's experience, gaining people's situation, hearing people's stories can be comforting. It can have lessons in there. It can give you some guidance. It can also make you realize that you're not stupid, or you're not your feelings are warranted and your emotions are warranted, and it's normal what is happening. It's supposed to be like this. So I always try and gain people's stories. So this is Stefi's story. There's much more out there as well, so go check other people's stuff out. But today's video was sponsored by audible.com, where you can get a free audio book with the link in the description. Follow that, and if you click the link down below, you'll get a free audio book. And it was also sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can buy the Inspire Change t-shirts with the link in the description. If you want to help support us in this movement, please go do that. A purchase of a t-shirt, all the money goes back to creating this content. So thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram @JordanMulliganbrother, and go inspire some change, guys. Peace.